Chapter 61, Picking Up the Pieces. Metropolis. A moment before Gu Hai arrived outside of Metropolis City, King Shikong, Mo Yikari, Qin Zaibai, and Chong Sheng were sitting in a large hall, drinking tea. Your Majesty, you really want to give the Qian envoy a hard time? Qin Zaibai frowned. King Shikong sipped his tea and said in a deep voice, "Not bad. His Majesty is closed, but the national prestige must not be weakened. In the frontline war, the Northern Expeditionary Army has suffered successive setbacks. More lost the existing 12 cities. We compromised the Great Qian. But this mouth of bad gas cannot be swallowed. Really think that my Great Yuan good bully not. And this time in my metropolis, do we still want to be inferior?" But Qin Zaibai smiled slightly bitterly. The Northern Expeditionary Army was led by himself, and the successive setbacks, that was to say that he was not leading the army well. However, King Shikong did not say it by name, and had already given himself face. If one were to refute it, one would be giving oneself face. "Your Highness, is this really good?" Chong Sheng frowned. King Shikong sneered. "Qian is a heavenly dynasty. We are an imperial dynasty, although there is a disparity in rank. But His Majesty has a dynasty's luck on his side, unless Qian Sunt arrives in person. Otherwise, will my Yuan be afraid of Qian? Even if the Emperor comes in person, what's the point? Not long ago, Your Majesty was able to challenge Taiyi and Tongshan. You have the power of a nation. Will you fear the arrival of the Great Qian Emperor? Would the Great Qian Emperor dare to march in person? You have to know that we are not the only empire in the four directions that is eyeing on Qian." Chong Sheng frowned slightly, always feeling not too good. The battle of nations is in the wrong, in the power. If this king presses Qian, it is to give my Yuan a strong momentum. What's wrong with that? King Shikong said in a deep voice. If the king is so aggressive, will he substituting the just peaceful Yuan into strife again? Chong Sheng frowned. Don't worry, this king has his own measure. From the side of the hand, not only strengthen the momentum of my Yuan, but also let the Great Qian have nothing to say, King Shikong confidently said. Strike from the side. What King Shikong wants to target is Gu Hai, right? Mo Yike sipped his tea and narrowed his eyes. Mo Yike. Hey, you're even more awakened than your father. No wonder your father pushed for you to go to Yingzhou back then. It seems to be a great exercise as well. King Shikong unexpectedly looked at Mo Yike. Your Highness is polite. As a matter of fact, Gu Hai accompanied county princes when you, and by suppressing Gu Hai, you are suppressing Qian envoy. It strengthens Yuan's voice, but leaves Qian speechless. Hey, the plan is good, but the commotion that your Highness made, isn't it too big? Mo Yike faintly said. Big. This king let the people of the whole city all observe the reception of the envoy spectacle, the great event of the country. In the court and in the field, such a spectacle, the people are also happy to see. What's not to like? King Shikong laughed. Mo Yike shook his head. I'm just worried that, Your Highness, you're counterproductive. King Shikong raised an eyebrow. Your Highness thinks that Gu Hai is a soft persimmon that can be pinched at will. How many people thought so in the beginning? King Lu Yong, Luan, Elshun, Chongming, Qin Zaibai, Shiyan. I'm not going to cite more examples. How it turned out, Your Highness should know. You think that Gu Hai is unbearable. If the result is the opposite of what you imagined, then it's not to strengthen the reputation of the Great Yuan, but rather, it's to give him Gu Hai to strengthen his momentum, Mo Yike said indifferently. Ha, Lord Mo. Do you think that in the way of the book, this king is not as good as him, a milquitoast brat? King Shikong confidently sneered. Mo Yike shook his head. My humble servant wouldn't dare to say that. Let's put it this way. Since the king's mind is made up, it won't help if I persuade you any further. I won't participate in the king's plan. I'll keep my mouth shut and just be a spectator. I will also keep my mouth shut and just be a spectator. Chong Sheng and Qin Zibai also spoke up. Shikong looked at the crowd. His eyes narrowed slightly, his heart bursting with displeasure. But the attitude of the three was obvious: cooperate with you, but not participate in you. Already gave enough face. Although his own official title was higher than the three people. But the four great families each into factions, who is not afraid of themselves. This time, one's own for the sake of Daiyuan, to strengthen the momentum. The three families do not participate, and also do not sing the opposite tune only. Good, good, that's good. I have already laid down the arcane light mirror. Wait for the Qian envoy to arrive. King Shikong said in a deep voice. Report. Steeply, a guard rushed into the Great Hall. Your Majesty, in the direction of the northern part of the city, two flying boats have been spotted. Corresponding to the reports that came in from previous days, it should be the Qian envoy's team. The guard said eagerly. Coming so soon, patrolling in all directions, didn't you find out earlier? How much longer to arrive? King Shikong's face changed. Roughly an hour, that guard said. Immediately notify the group of ministers and head to the Wuxia Academy immediately. Quick. King Shikong's face and eyes glared and said, Yes, in the middle of the metropolis. Buzz, buzz. In the four directions of the city, a beam of light steeply rushed into the sky. Slowly. It was projected on top of each white cloud in each large area of the city. It was as if 1,000 light curtains were formed, projecting an identical image in the sky, so that the people of nearly the entire city could see it clearly. In the middle of the image, but on top of a cloudy mountain peak, a large number of Daiyuan's officials were standing at the moment. The arcane light mirror has opened. Is what King Shikong said true? This time, the process of receiving Daqian's envoys is really going to be open to the entire population. Look, look, that's King Shikong. He's leading the group of officials to the Wuxia Academy. The picture in the Zhuangguang mirror is too clear, and there's sound. Look, the great Chen emissaries are here. Just a flying boats. It's too shabby, isn't it? The city in the four directions. Countless people were in an uproar. Together looked up at the sky. Looking at the sky, that huge light screen. The light screen, but the picture of the Wuxia Academy. This kind of Zhuangguangjing's scene of the whole city rejoicing together. But it was a rare occurrence in 100 years. Many of the people had already dropped everything and were curious to see it. At the window of a restaurant, there was a woman in red sitting at the moment, truly Fairy Wana. Looking at the picture in the sky, Fairy Wana kept her gaze fixed on Gu Hai. Why are you here? Lin Wana revealed a hint of entanglement. In the middle of a small courtyard in the city. Yet, there were still two figures sitting there, Long Shenwu and Sima Changkong, surrounded by guards stationed around them. The two of them watched the images in the sky with their wine cups. He, King Shikong. He's trying to make things difficult for County Princess Wenyu, isn't he? Long Shenwu's eyes narrowed slightly. County Princess Wenyu is in the light. We are in the dark. Hopefully we can find the state scholar priest. Sima Changkong laughed. King Shikong's target is already focused on Wenyu and Gu Hai. Hey, I just hope Gu Hai won't be humiliated too much, the dragon god said in a deep voice. Sima Changkong frowned and didn't answer. On screen, Gu Hai arrived and the two parties began to make formal contact. After the meeting between King Shikong and County Lord Wenyu, the hands pointed towards Gu Hai. That's Gu Hai, her. The villain into the Han returning army was written about him. Still quite weak looking. No. Underneath this circumspect appearance, there must be a treacherous villain's heart hidden. Hey haha. Look. Is that Li Shenji of the Shenji battalion next to him? He actually took the initiative to propose the two Han returning army. Is he also tired of seeing Gu Hai's villainous behavior? King Shikong wants Gu Hai to comment. Let's see what Gu Hai says. A clumsy work. Bah. That's King Shikong's modesty. His pen falls to frighten the wind and rain. And his righteousness comes out. Do you really think it's a clumsy work? Still want to welcome the banquet in grand style? Humph. This kind of villain should not be entertained. The king is going to host a banquet, eh? How come there's no movement, Li Gang? What do you mean you can't set up? Hasn't it been prepared for some days? The scene in the screen, watching the countless people in the city, was heartbreaking, especially the literary cultivators who worshipped the Wuxia Academy. They were even more unsightly. At this time, not being able to set up a banquet, isn't this making King Shikong unable to get off the stage? Picture. It's true. The two of them are rice bucket demon changes. Your Highness, there's really nothing left. Li Gang was in tears. King Shikong coldly looked at Li Gang. Such a big thing. Why didn't you say anything? You explained not to let the reporter. Let them eat. Give as much as you have, Li Gang said with tears in his eyes. King Shikong, the whole dynasty. At this juncture, this important part, when setting up the banquet, you dropped the ball. Isn't this letting the Doyuan group of ministers down? Nearly 200 million people in the city still staring at this moment. When you're hosting the banquet, you say there's no food. Isn't this an international joke? Mo Yike and Chongming glanced at each other. The two of them smiled bitterly and retreated behind the people, not paying attention to this matter. King Shikong's face was pitch black, and his heart was in the right place to kill Li Gang. Who would have thought that his own setup would be ruined at this juncture? Right at the beginning, you can't get off the stage. Opposite Gu Hai's expression was slightly cold. Was this targeting the Great Chen mission? No, it's not in their favor. And their expressions don't look like they're faking are. That's just it. Since Daiwan is stingy with that little banquet. If not, let me, Great Chen, treat you all, Gu Hai spoke. King Shikong's face stiffened, and he fiercely glared at Li Gang, who wanted to cry without tears. Now that the whole city is staring, the Wuxia Academy to the city to purchase at least half an hour. Where is the time? Since Gu Hai opened his mouth, he could only nod. Come on people, cooperate with this Mr. Li Gang to set up a banquet, Gu Hai called out. Yes, an answering shout came from behind him. Slaughter some of those demonic beasts from the Wuxia Academy. King Shikong commanded. Your Highness, those are my academy's Rui beasts, not ingredients, Li Gang called out. King Shikong's eyes glared. Is it really possible to let Gu Hai host the banquet for all of them? What's wrong with the Rui beasts? At this time, if you drop the chain again, this king will kill you. Yes, come on, go and capture that cow demon and goat demon and slaughter them for the banquet, Li Gang immediately shouted with a jolt. The banquet, finally, could be held as usual. Long Wen Yu, but skimmed his mouth, really stingy to death, inviting us to have a meal, but also have to make up a share. King Shikong, his steep face a moment of green, a moment of red, a moment of white, but the whole city live, 200 million people are staring at it. Is not good to be angry, can only pretend not to hear. Shikong King pretended not to hear, but the people of the city is to hear clearly. Hearing Long Wen Yu's whispered complaints, countless people are also a change of face. Obviously, they were also extremely ashamed. King Shikong had done too little openness in this matter.